spring, and Mrs. Brisbane wanted to make sure her students did well. There were math drills and reading drills and her favorite, the dictionary drill. Every day she had a list of words for us to look up in the dictionary. Then we were supposed to write sentences using the words correctly. There was just one problem. Everyone in class had a dictionary except me. This was very annoying because I tried to keep up with my friends. Finally, I came up with a solution and made my own dictionary by writing words and definitions in the tiny notebook I keep hidden in my cage. Ms. Mack, the wonderful substitute teacher who brought me to room 26, gave it to me. She also gave me a broken heart when she left to teach in faraway Brazil. I still think about Ms. Mack a lot. Now Mrs. Brisbane was smiling broadly. This morning, we're taking a break from drills to decorate the room. My classmates cheered. What does she say? Pay attention, Art Patel asked. Lower your voice, AJ. No test drills, AJ bellowed loudly. That got Stop Giggling Gail Morgenstern chuckling, and her best friend Heidi joined in. Mrs. Brisbane shushed everyone. Settle down. The theme of the day is Spring into Numbers. Now, let's get to work. None of us knew what she was talking about, but soon all my friends were busy with paper, paint, markers, fluffy cotton, string, and wire. How I wished I could get my paws on some of those things. While Mrs. Brisbane explained that the students were supposed to hide math problems in their flower, tree, and kite projects, I scurried to my wheel for a little exercise. Spring made me feel frisky and full of life. I spun faster and faster until the whole room was a blur, and then the recess bell rang. My classmates dropped their markers and construction paper and raced toward the door. Wait for the bell, Garth Tugwell was the first one out, as usual. For some reason, the bell surprised me, maybe because it sounded a little softer than normal. I guess it surprised Mrs. Brisbane, too, because she glanced at the clock and shouted, "Children, come back here!" She raced to the door and called the students back. It's not recess yet. I could hear them objecting. It was the bell, AJ bellowed. We'll miss recess, Mandy protested. But Mrs. Brisbane was firm. Once my friends were back in the room, she pointed to the clock. See? It's not time yet. She checked her watch. Not for another half hour. But the bell rang, Heidi argued. Raise your hand, Heidi, Mrs. Brisbane said, just as she's said hundreds of times before. Would someone like to tell me what just happened? Mrs. Brisbane's eagle eyes stared out at the classroom. April Fool! A voice called out. I heard that, Kirk Chen, the teacher said. It was you, wasn't it? Kirk was the class comic, but he'd been better lately about pulling practical jokes during school hours. I'm sorry, Mrs. Brisbane, Kirk answered, but it's April 1st, April Fool's Day. You're supposed to play jokes on people. Mrs. Brisbane asked him to explain what he did. Last week, I made a recording of the recess bell. He held up a tiny tape recorder. I just played it a little ahead of time. Mrs. Brisbane shook her head. Kirk, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. I didn't hurt anybody, Kirk protested. No, but... Mrs. Brisbane didn't finish because all of a sudden the loudest sound I've ever heard rattled my furry little ears. It was much louder than the buzzers and bells that sound at morning, recess, lunchtime, or at the end of the day. It was louder than the loudest voice AJ ever used. It wasn't a ringing or a buzzing. It was an ear-splitting beep, beep, beep without stopping. Help! I squeaked, plummeting off my wheel and somersaulting through my bedding. It's never a good idea to stop spinning too quickly. Fire drill! Heidi called out. She didn't raise her hand, but this time Mrs. Brisbane didn't scold her. The beeps kept blaring. Couldn't someone turn them off? Boys and girls, this is the fire alarm, Mrs. Brisbane shouted. Leave everything on your desks, line up row by row, and we'll calmly walk out to the playground. Boing, boing. Og sounded worried. We hadn't had a fire drill since Og came to our classroom. No wonder he was alarmed. I quickly explained that a fire drill is a time for students to practice how to act if there's a fire. My friends knew just what to do. They put down their pencils, scissors, and paper, stood up, and began to form lines. Stay calm, Mrs. Brisbane said. I don't know how anyone could stay calm with that noise.